Inside the roaring arenas of Colosseum, people didn't just watch games. They watched survival. Crowds gathered, not for sport, but for spectacle, for blood, for dominance. Men entered the arena, knowing not all of them would leave. Some fought beasts. Some fought each other. Some fought fate itself. Because in ancient Rome, entertainment wasn't about skill. It was about endurance, and sometimes, about death. In the heart of the Colosseum, gladiators stepped into the arena, not as free men, but as fighters bound by fate. They came from different backgrounds, prisoners of war, slaves, sometimes even volunteers seeking fame. Each one trained, conditioned, prepared for combat. But no amount of training removed the reality. Every fight could be their last. The crowd watched closely. Every strike, every movement, every moment of hesitation. Because this wasn't chaos. It was controlled violence. Different types of gladiators faced each other. Some heavily armored, slow, powerful, others light, fast, strategic. Each battle was a contrast. Strength versus speed. Defense versus agility. The tension built with every exchange. Because victory wasn't just survival. It was approval. The crowd decided. Their reaction mattered. Their voices influenced outcomes. And sometimes, even mercy. A fallen gladiator would look up, waiting, not just for the emperor's signal, but for the crowd's judgment. Because in that moment, his fate wasn't his own. It belonged to thousands watching. And in ancient Rome, that was the game. Inside the roaring arena of the Colosseum, not all fights were between men. Some were between man and nature. These were the Venations, beast hunts designed to shock and amaze. Exotic animals were brought from across the empire. Lions from Africa, leopards, bears, even elephants. Creatures the Roman crowd would never see otherwise. And they weren't displayed peacefully. They were released into the arena. Hunters, called venators, stood ready, armed, trained, but still vulnerable. Because these weren't controlled exhibitions. They were unpredictable, raw, dangerous. The gates would open, and chaos would follow. Animals charged, crowds roared, sand shifted beneath running feet. Some hunters showed incredible skill, dodging attacks, using speed and precision, turning survival into spectacle. Others weren't as fortunate, because unlike trained gladiator duels, these encounters couldn't be fully controlled. Fear was real, risk was constant, and the outcome never guaranteed. Sometimes, the arena was even staged. Forests recreated, obstacles placed, turning the fight into something theatrical. But no matter how it was presented, the purpose remained the same: to entertain, to impress, to remind the audience of Rome's power over both man and nature. Because in these games, it wasn't just about survival, it was about domination. In the arenas of ancient Rome, not every event was a contest. Some were punishments, public, staged, and witnessed by thousands inside the Colosseum. These were executions, but presented as spectacle. Condemned prisoners were brought into the arena, untrained, unprepared.
Fascine impossible.
Some were forced into reenactments of myths. In the arenas of ancient Rome, not every event was a contest. Some were punishments, public, staged, and witnessed by thousands inside the Colosseum. These were executions, but presented as spectacle. Condemned prisoners were brought into the arena, untrained, unprepared.
Fascine impossible.
Some were forced into reenactments of myths, stories the crowd already knew. Except this time, the ending was real. Others were left defenseless, exposed to wild animals, or placed in situations where survival was unlikely. The purpose wasn't competition. It wasn't fairness. It was demonstration. A message. About power. About consequence. Because the arena didn't just entertain. It enforced authority. The crowd reacted. Watched closely. Some with excitement. Others with silence. But all of them understood. This wasn't random. It was controlled. Deliberate. Every movement in the arena was part of a larger system. A system where punishment became performance. And performance became memory. For those in the stands, it was a show. For those in the arena, it was final. Because in ancient Rome, justice could be seen, heard, and remembered, not through quiet judgment, but through spectacle. In ancient Rome, the arena didn't always stay dry. Inside places like the Colosseum, water could fill the ground itself, transforming sand into sea. These were naumachii, staged naval battles, ships brought into the arena, scaled down, but real, men placed aboard them, sometimes trained, sometimes not, and then, the battle began, oars cutting through water, shouts echoing through the arena, crowds watching from above as ships collided. Combat moved differently here, slower, heavier, but just as dangerous, because once the fight started, there was nowhere to escape. Falling into the water didn't mean safety. It meant vulnerability, confusion, exposure, and just like other games, the outcome wasn't always survival. These battles were rare, expensive, complex to organize, but that made them even more powerful. They showed something beyond violence. They showed capability, engineering, control over environment itself. Because Rome didn't just control people, it controlled spectacle, turning even water into a stage. And for the audience, it was unforgettable. Ships sinking, men struggling, the line between performance and reality disappearing completely. Because in these moments, the arena wasn't just land. It became something else. A place where even the impossible was made real. Inside the massive structure of the Colosseum, the games weren't just about what happened in the arena. They were about who was watching. Thousands filled the seats. From common citizens, to elites, to the emperor himself. And every reaction mattered. Cheers, silence, approval, disapproval. Because the crowd wasn't passive. It was part of the system. Their voices shaped outcomes. Their energy fueled the spectacle. And their presence gave the games meaning. For rulers, these events served a purpose. They entertained the population, distracted from hardship, and reinforced authority. Because while people watched the arena, they weren't watching anything else. Food was sometimes distributed, celebrations organized, everything designed to keep attention focused. Because control doesn't always come through force. Sometimes comes through distraction, through spectacle, through emotion. And in ancient Rome, the arena delivered all three. The emperor's presence added another layer, a symbol of power watching over everything. Decisions could be made in moments, a gesture, a signal, and fate would change. For those in the arena, it was life or death. For those in the stands, it was unforgettable. And for Rome, it was control. The Colosseum still stands. Silent, massive, a reminder of what once took place inside. Historians study it, tourists visit it, but understanding it fully is something else entirely. Because these games weren't just events. They were a system, carefully designed, deeply embedded in Roman society. Violence wasn't hidden. It was visible, structured, accepted. And that's what makes it unsettling today. Not just what happened, but how normal it was, how organized, how expected. People didn't look away. They watched, participated, reacted, because within that culture, it made sense. It served a purpose. And over time, it became tradition. But from a modern perspective, it raises questions about entertainment, about power, about human nature itself. Why do people watch? What draws crowds to spectacle? Where is the line between performance and reality? These questions still exist today, just in different forms. Because while the arena is gone, the idea of spectacle remains. And that's why these games still matter, not just as history, but as reflection of what people are capable of watching and accepting.